Hi, this is Andy of Andy's Personal Development, and we are currently live in the breakout room. So, welcome, and we love being here for you with quality and value to inspire and to transform. Remember, we are on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and iTunes. Today, as usual, we have a special guest to share with you for your development and growth and to live your better informed life. So, grab a cup, pull up a seat, and stay tuned for the introduction. Right here, now, live in the breakout room. It's the place for health, happiness, and prosperity. Stay tuned. Our next guest in the breakout room is a pioneer in her own rights. She is a shame and guilt educator, counselor, and filmmaker. She is Lois Hollis, our guest on this episode. As an author, she has written 500 questions have one answer, as well as Now is the Time. Lois co-founded the AANNT, the American Association of Nephrology, Nurses and Technicians, in 1971 to standardize procedures for hemodialysis nursing. She says, "I know firsthand the importance of healing and the spirit of living. I have been blessed to have extra years in my life by overcoming heart disease, kidney dysfunction, brain traumas, rib fractures, and 30 years of migraine headaches. I had 3 miscarriages, but God gave me 3 beautiful daughters, and here they are." With the help of family, she's committed to exposing shame and guilt. She says, "We will change our traditional shame guilt culture to resolve the fear that stops us and the mental health crisis." So, let's welcome this guiltless guest live in the breakout room, Lois Hollis. And this is Andy of Andy's Personal Development. You are live in the breakout room. My name is Andy Charles. I'm your award winning and internationally accredited life and development coach and the host of this podcast, Andy's Personal Development. We are live in the breakout room, the place for health, happiness, and prosperity. And now for our guest, Lois Hollis.
Thank
Hi.
you. Thank
Hi.
you.
You're
So
very welcome.
exciting to be with
Yes.
you in your wonderful country.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Okay.
very honored.
We are honored to have you, Luis. You are our special guest. And we thank you for taking the time out just to be with us and to share your profound wisdom and your knowledge and all your engaging experience with us. So nice to have you.
Nice
Yes.
to be here. I have much to share to keep us out of the fear,
Uh huh.
out of the guilt,
Uh
out
huh.
of the shame that doesn't belong to us.
Sounds great. So let's get right into it
Okay.
without further ado. Luis, I'm looking at your information and it says that you volunteered at a nurse's aide at 12 years of age. Could you compare anything other than that time of your life with what you have experienced so far? And if possible, help us to come to the place where we can come to terms with the fact that at 12, I mean, even at that time in the world, you really don't have much information on what is happening in the world. How did it come that you were able to volunteer as a nurse's aide? How was that experience for you at 12 years of age?
The I always wanted to be in the health field.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to heal myself
Mm-hmm.
and I always wanted to heal others.
Okay.
It wasn't like I sat down one day and decided this. It was like I hungry, so I eat.
Mm-hmm.
I have a will to be healthy.
Uh-huh.
I was more willing to be healthy than happy.
Right.
Health was just the important thing in my life. And I don't know how that came about. Um, I have very few memories of my childhood,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that I just wanted to be healthy and to help other people be healthy. And at that time, we're talking 19, you know, um, 50,
Mm-hmm.
60, in those realms, that nursing was different than it is today.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
Very
more of
true.
an art, it was more of compassion, and we
Mm-hmm.
won't get into all of that because there's so much going on. But at
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
time, it was considered an honorable endeavor to
Right.
be in health field.
Mm-hmm.
However, later on in my own life, I
Mm-hmm.
became ill from the childhood traumas I experienced,
Yeah.
and I had to switch from um, traditional medicine to holistic medicine
Yeah.
because they didn't have the answers that I needed to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got into holistic health. Also,
Yeah.
my daughter was ill, and
Mm-hmm.
I was able to help her by talking with holistic people.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of a family thing, and that's how I got into holistic health. I felt very sad because
Mm-hmm.
I loved my profession as a medical nurse, but that was limited, and I
Okay.
saw that they couldn't help me, so I went on to the holistic side. However, as you know, if you don't take care of the problems that you had in childhood and
Uh-huh.
teenage years,
Uh-huh.
marching on 45, 50, you crash.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a new
Yeah.
thing.
Yes. Yes.
And it happens with all the various problems I had in the
Mm-hmm.
medical field. So I also started medical therapies and things of that sort. And again, it took me so far, but it didn't make me feel happy and I didn't really heal.
Wow. Wow.
And then as I have looked back on my life, I've always been a trailblazer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've, I helped create the first kidney hemodialysis unit in the country. It's 1966. And
Yeah.
then I created the ANTT, which still is around today, and so many other firsts. And when I discovered that shame guilt was the
Mm-hmm.
reason for all my problems,
Mm-hmm.
I said, I looked around and I said, nobody's doing this. So
Okay.
I guess I have to.
Right. Right. Right.
So
Right.
that's how I got into the field because once I was aware of the shame guilt energies, which is
Yeah.
different than what they talk about today,
Right.
I healed.
Yes.
Of course,
Yes.
I had medical help and nutrition and, all the other things, but we're
Mm-hmm.
here today about the emotional aspect.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I healed
Mm-hmm.
and got younger too.
Okay. Great. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh, because they gave me a death sentence at 55. I had one or two
Right.
more years to go, and they were
Right.
correct.
Yes.
But once I found they didn't know about shame guilt, so once
Mm-hmm.
I figured that all those interests out, I healed. And then people, my friends, came to me and said, "Lois, what are you doing? You're healthy." And I said, "I'm talking to myself." And I said, "Can we do that?" And I says, "I guess so." So I
Okay.
taught them to do what I was doing, and they too
Right.
got well and healthy. And then their mothers and
Excellent.
their fathers and their kids and their friends came to
Yeah.
me. And then I decided that I guess that's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
My profession found me.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
So why
Excellent.
am I different than other people that talk about shame guilt?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I want to really talk about today to help people understand that we've been duped. We've been told
Ah.
the wrong information.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay. We all know about the love energy.
Mm-hmm.
Love gives us joy and happiness and confidence, intuition,
Yeah.
health,
Yeah.
healing. We
Yeah.
love each other. We're compassionate. Love does that.
Right.
Love gives us all these wonderful flowers.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Then on the other side, we have a negative energy,
Mm-hmm.
shame, guilt energy.
Wow.
Okay, now
Wow.
this has got to sink in because this
Mm-hmm.
is new. But it's
Yeah.
shame, guilt energy that gives us depression, anxiety, bullying, not good enough, lack of confidence. I'm no
Mm.
good, I'm terrible. Um, my book has like, well, let's talk about this book. The
Which one is that?
diagnostic, that's the
Oh,
diagnostic statistics of mental disorders.
okay. All
Okay,
right. Terrific.
915 pages.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all these disorders and eating disorders and bulimia and not good enough and bullying. And we don't need to have all that said today. But
Yeah. Yeah.
all these are created or symptoms
Mm-hmm.
of shame, guilt, energy,
Yeah.
but they don't mention it.
Wow.
So
All right. Mm-hmm.
that's what
Luis,
I'm saying.
I wanna interrupt you a bit, if you
Sure,
don't mind.
of course.
I'm beginning to hear something about your basic line of information with regards to to shame and guilt and stuff, and the culture that seems to be um, harassing us, for want of a better word, as we go through life in society today. I want to find out from you if you see that some of the things that are happening in the world today is more so responsibility and helping people to feel more guilty and more shame about themselves rather than feel that positive and loving energy. Is there anything that is happening today, socially and otherwise,
Of
that's
course,
contributing? Right.
of
Tell us a
course,
bit about that. Yes.
of course. This is why I'm grateful for the time to spend to you
Uh huh.
because shame, the last podcast I had, it was
Uh huh.
wonderful. And we both decided that we're not going to call it shame, guilt, energy.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to call it the shame, guilt, leech.
Okay. Yeah.
Think about that concept.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sucks off your energy that God
Yes.
has given us.
I get it. Yes. I
Okay?
get it. I
It
get it.
sucks us. It's a leech, it's a
Mm-hmm.
parasite, so it needs
Parasite.
energy.
Yeah, that's the next word that's coming to my mind. Parasite.
So
Yeah.
it
Wow.
needs you, Andy. You
Yes.
do not need it.
Yes. That's right.
Okay? Now, shame, guilt, energy is negative
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to love that's
Mm-hmm.
positive.
Right.
Okay? Now, it's also like a virus. What
Mm-hmm.
happens to your computer, Andy, when you get a computer virus?
Wow. Trouble. Real trouble.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Right. Everything goes bad. And your computer will act different than mine, even though we have the same computer virus.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
that's shame, guilt comes into us as a negative energy with the words of other people, with our culture, with the religion, with the government, whatever, your mother, your father.
Mm-hmm.
It comes everywhere.
Okay.
And it turns compassion to depression.
Mm-hmm.
It turns intuition to anxiety.
Right.
It turns our passion to anger. See, all our emotions have positive and
Mm-hmm.
negative sides.
Yeah.
The computer virus, the shame guilt virus goes,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and what does it do to our mind? We get confused
Yeah.
and we say, we're not good enough, we're stupid.
Mm.
What does it do to our body? It hurts our stomach and our liver and our lungs and our heart because
Wow.
it interferes with the processing of our body. You know, we
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
energy beings.
Yes. Yes.
And it's like a lightning bolt, like the internet goes and it stops working.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So this
Yes.
is the difference that I have been able to understand. I had a near death experience in my childhood. I don't know how many times, but it doesn't matter. What it matters is that I have access to other dimensions, and I'm very grateful to be able to
Hmm.
bring something new. You can't go to school for this, Andy, and it's not
Yes.
on the internet. It's
Yeah.
from the higher dimensions. But you
Hmm.
know what? It makes sense.
Uh-huh.
It's a shame guilt energy, and we can get rid of it because we know about it. The shame guilt energy only has one defect: it dissolves in detection.
Okay.
Do you remember The Wizard of Oz?
Ah, famous movie, yeah.
Dorothy goes up the Velvet Road. Oh, I gotta see the wizard. All
Wow.
trembly and fearful.
Yeah.
Toto turns the curtain, and what do you see? A little old man, bald and gray, with a big machine puffing smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
The jig
Yeah.
is up.
Yes. Yes.
Shame guilt is an energy. It's a big
Wow.
puff of smoke.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. Louis, your life is an amazing history of persecution and struggle. But yet look at you now, the level of resilience and centeredness that you have accomplished is truly amazing.
Because I
30
kick shame
years.
guilt out.
Right, but how do people now, Luis, apply the information and the experience and the knowledge that you have to come to the place where they could first of all recognize what this monster is and then
It is a
apply,
monster.
right,
Yes,
and then apply what you have learned and experienced and proven to be successful in defeating this monster? How can they do it?
you can do it. And this is, if any, everybody just gets the idea that it is possible
Mm-hmm.
to get rid of the shame guilt energy.
Yeah.
Now, why do I call it shame guilt and not shame and guilt?
Okay.
Okay, we have two nervous systems within our
Mm-hmm.
body. We
Yeah.
have the conscious and the unconscious. We have
Right.
other names for it, but shame is in the unconscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
which is true. You kind of
Yeah.
don't think,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
guilt's in the conscious mind. But
Yeah.
it's the same energy.
Right. Right.
Now, why does the world, the medical world, do this? If you have a bacteria in your brain, they
Mm-hmm.
call it meningitis.
Yes. Yeah.
If you have the same bacteria in your heart,
Mm-hmm.
they call it carditis.
Okay.
If you have the same bacteria in your liver, they
Mm-hmm.
call it hepatitis.
Right.
The same bacteria in your stomach, they call it
Mm-hmm.
gastritis. Do you see how that
Yeah.
confuses you?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Luis. I hear you.
Okay, so
I hear you.
shame, guilt is the same. Now, why? Shame is bad as guilt is good. We need guilt to be, what do you call it? Loyal
Mm-hmm.
and obedient. No, we don't. We answer to God. We don't answer to the shame guilt monster.
All right. I agree. I agree. Totally agree. 100%.
Okay, so they call it different names because that's how our medical world set up. That's
Right.
okay. But
Yeah.
you have to know that shame guilt energy is the same.
Mm-hmm.
We can call it the green monster, we can call it the whatever you want to call it. Please let
Yeah.
me know
Yeah.
because I don't know what else to call it. Okay, but it's put upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually put upon our earth
Mm-hmm.
to make us stupid,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
When we're in guilt, are we smart or are we stupid,
Hmm. Wow.
right?
Yeah. Okay,
So
great.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
way, but isn't it easy to control people that aren't smart?
Unfortunately, that's true.
So we need to get smart. It
Mm-hmm.
isn't that we haven't been trained, we haven't read the right books. It's that shame guilt covered us
Right.
and we just take it off.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
that simple. But it's, you have to understand what, the background. You have to know your enemy. You have to
Mm-hmm.
know the words that people are saying to you that are shame guilt.
Yeah.
You have to know what you say to yourself as the inner critic. So there is things to do, but I'm giving you a landscape
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
of the overview.
Mm-hmm.
So shame guilt is an energy put upon humanity, so therefore you can take it off when
Mm-hmm.
you know it is, or like you're talking on the phone and they're shaming and shaming. You just go, I don't take it, I don't take it, I don't take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get rid of it. Now,
Yeah.
we're talking about what, 10% or 5% of the people in the world that are doing this. So
Mm-hmm.
you're in the minority, but isn't that great?
Yes, it is. It is.
Yes, I mean, someone's got to start, with the freedom and everything else. That's a whole nother story, but it's based in shame guilt.
Yes.
The whole
Yes.
devaluation that's happening is the shame guilt has been so imploded since Adam and Eve
Yeah.
upon us. So we don't know any better. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying we do know better.
Right.
We're all very intelligent. We're all
Yes.
very God orientated.
Yeah.
God didn't, but God uses everything for good. So, anyway, we just have to know that we have to be the Toto, pull the curtain back and say, shame, guilt doesn't belong to me.
Wow.
So,
That
when
that's
you,
that's powerful. That's powerful.
so the first thing that you can do when you get
Mm-hmm.
into that shame guilt, and like that happens what, every minute of the day or something to everybody.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's worldwide. Now people say, "Oh, I don't have shame guilt." Do you have depression? Yeah, depression, anxiety, not good enough is a symptom, not a medical, not a mental disorder.
Mm-hmm.
It's a symptom of the
Uh-huh.
shame guilt energy.
Wow, that's
Okay,
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
very important. It's a symptom. It's not a medical illness.
Okay.
It's a symptom of the shame guilt energy. So, yes, everybody has it. It's not normal. People say,
Wow.
oh, it's normal. No, it isn't. God did not make me to be a shame person.
Yes, indeed. I fully endorse that. I support that, Luis. I
Of
support that.
course.
I
That's who
do.
we are. We're
I do.
God people.
Yes. Wow. Thank you so much. Tell us a bit about the filmmaking process.
Okay.
How did you get to be involved in the filmmaking process, and what did you hope to accomplish by going in that direction?
What you see, you believe,
Uh-huh.
right? Right.
Yes.
I'm talking to you like I'm talking to other people like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And they go, Lois, I can't understand what you're saying. It though I can't see what you see. So I said, oh, I got to make a film. So somewhere in my 60s, I went to film school
Uh-huh.
to make films.
Wow, admirable.
Well, I had to because I was
Right.
talking upon deaf ears.
Right, right,
And it
right,
was
right.
very, very frustrating. It was easier to go to film school and make a film.
Ah,
I
there
mean,
you go.
right? What are you going to
Yeah.
do? What you
Yes.
got to do, right?
Yes,
Right,
yes, yes.
Andy? You
Yes,
got to
that's
do
right.
what you got to
That's right,
do.
Luis. You got to do what you got to
Got
do.
to do. So it wasn't easy. But
Mhm.
my new film, I'm Good Film,
Yeah.
is 3 episodes,
Okay.
15 minutes each. So it's not
Right.
long because I know everybody
Yeah.
has an extension span, like,
Yeah.
forget it.
Yes. So true.
What I did, Andy, I made shame guilt visible,
Uh-huh.
like Wizard of Oz,
Mhm.
the cloud of smoke.
Yeah.
And I made it visible so people can see it and know it's there
Mhm.
and they can get rid of it.
Right, right.
So that's what I've done. And it took a long time, but
Mhm.
if you
You got it
persist,
done.
You got to
Yes.
keep doing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I'm editing episode 3 right now. But
Okay.
anyway, I would advise people just to go to imgoodfilm.com
Mm-hmm.
and see what I'm saying
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yes.
God wants everyone to know this.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So
Wonderful.
imgoodfilm.com. That's it.
Right. Okay.
And
Great.
you get to do that. So you will understand more
Mm-hmm.
of what I'm saying today
Mm-hmm. All
by
right.
watching the film.
Yeah.
Now, this is important, Andy.
Okay.
Did you ever, well, you may or may not, it doesn't matter. David Hawkins was a researcher. He's now
Mm-hmm.
in heaven. What
Mm-hmm.
he did was he gave a number, a new
Mm-hmm.
arithmetic number to emotions.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Very.
Enlightenment, where you were with Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
700,000
Uh-huh.
with 30 zeros.
Okay.
700, comma, 000 plus 30 zeros.
Plus
And that is
30.
a
Uh-huh.
number, but I
Uh-huh.
forget what it is, but my son in law knows because he's a
Okay.
mathematician.
Right.
Okay, so that's the highest that we can vibrate at.
Okay. Right.
Then we have love and joy and peace and, et cetera, et cetera. Now at
Mm-hmm.
200, no zeros after 200, just
Okay.
200, we start with hurt and anger, distrust, misery. And guess what the last one is?
I know you're gonna tell me. I think I know what it is, but I know you're gonna tell us.
What is it, Mandy?
Shame and guilt.
Of course. Okay, guilt
Uh-huh.
is the lowest vibration
Uh-huh.
that you can have
Right,
and
right.
still be alive.
Wow.
It
Wow.
comes in at 10.
Okay. Yeah,
Now,
that's
what happens with suicide?
hmm.
What precedes suicide? Guilt.
Guilt. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
That's why I'm bringing this out because
Okay.
guilt brings suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was suicidal. I thought
Right.
the world would be better without me.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Luckily, I called somebody to help me.
There you go. There you go. And that's something we need to remember. We need to always reach out to somebody for help. We can't
Yes,
do it
we
all
do.
alone. Yeah.
We can. And
Yeah.
even if you call the supermarket operator and say hi, I mean, if you don't have a friend near or whatever, just call a store and they give you the hours of the store and just talk to another human being,
Yes. That's
okay?
right. That's right.
Or call the wrong number. It
Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter.
it
Just make
doesn't
contact
matter.
with somebody. Some other human person. Just make
You
contact. Just
need to
just
talk to a
communicate.
human person
Yeah. Yeah.
or even the police or who knows. It doesn't matter. Pick up
Yeah.
the phone, your cell phone, and punch any number. Okay.
Right.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
my suggestion is if you're in guilt, duh, how many times we're in guilt,
Mm.
in your mind, say, no, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Now, what you can do is say, I have regret.
Mm-hmm.
Now, regret is higher than guilt.
Okay.
Regret gives you a solution. I had a client came to me and
Mm-hmm.
she had a lot of guilt because
Yeah.
she couldn't help her mother from alcoholism and her mother
Wow.
passed away. And
Okay.
she felt guilty because she couldn't help her. But you know how
Mm-hmm.
that goes if a person
Yeah.
doesn't,
Yeah.
so but she still felt the guilt. And I think that's kind of normal.
Hmm.
So eventually I got her to regret that she couldn't help her mother. And then she started with the regret, she started programs for alcoholics and how they could get out of it. You
Okay.
see how regret gives you a solution?
Yes.
Guilt
Yes.
has no solution.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about guilt. There's no solution because you're not worthy of a solution.
Hmm. Wow. Okay, great. So we're gonna go for a break here now with our special guest Louise Hollis live in the breakout room. And when we come back, we're gonna ask about now is the time, and 500 questions have one answer. We have been enjoying the time so far, so we're gonna go for a quick little break, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. FindRadioGuest.com, the place to click to find guests to interview for free. And if you're a radio show booker, podcaster, talk show host, or television producer, then this is the place to get podcasts and radio interviews or promote your books and products as a guest expert sponsor. FindRadioGuest.com. Check it out. Hi, people. This is a special invitation for you to join our community. Yes, we're inviting you to join our community for 2022. What's in store? Well, what we want is your feedback on our content and our guests, but more so on what you need to be inspired and transformed from your current condition to one of happiness, health, and prosperity. So drop us a line and reach out. Help us to better help you achieve your goals. So, people, inbox me at www.facebook.com/mddreamer/. That's www.facebook.com/mddreamer/. Or send me an email at lovebitsa@gmail.com. That's lovebitsa@gmail.com. We love hearing from you as we build our partnership in growth and development, and we look forward to your communicating. Help us to help you to live a better life in personal growth and development from Andy's Personal Development. We love you. We look forward to hearing from you. See you soon. Bye for now. And we are back with Louise Hollis live in the breakout room. And she has been putting on a clinic, people, on how we can overcome this monster, this shame guilt monster that has been disrupting the lives of so many. And now we're going to look at the information that she has put into two publications. The first one is Now is the Time. Louise, can you tell us a bit about that publication, Now is the Time?
In my journeys, I hear words in my head, so I had to write them down.
Okay.
And I've come to learn that God's talking and I'm the secretary.
I love that. That's original. Way to
So
go, Louise. Way to
I
go.
just
Way to
write
go.
down what
Uh-huh.
I'm sensing. You know what I mean. It's a sense that you're getting.
Yes.
And these words, they're English, but
Mm-hmm.
they're put in a different cadence that
Okay.
changes your frequency.
Okay.
So if you're in, you don't have to be in guilt and shame, but if you're depressed or just want to read them, it's fine. But it's kind of like a 911 thing. If you're in
Mm.
guilt, read these words because it raises you out from guilt to anger or regret or
Uh-huh.
joy or whatever. Is it
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
heal everything? No, but it
Mm-hmm.
gets you out of the hole if you can't find somebody to talk to.
Yes.
We got to
Yes.
get you out of the guilt hole,
Okay.
Andy.
Yes.
Got to get people out of the guilt hole. That's
That's
step
right.
number one. Because you
Right.
can't teach anybody that's in the guilt hole,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. So that's on my website. It's about 30 pages,
Mm-hmm.
and you can print it out. It's available to be printed out, or you
Mm-hmm.
can get me to mail you a book.
That's great.
But
That's
it's
great.
easy. It's right there, and read those words.
Mm-hmm.
And the other book is 500 Questions, One Answer.
Yeah.
Now, if you sign up for my newsletter,
Uh-huh.
I teach you over the course of 2 months
Mm-hmm.
500 ways you shame yourself or you other people shame you.
Okay. Hmm. Wow. Intriguing.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
it's very interesting because we don't know, Andy. we've been so taught to shame ourselves, we don't know that's wrong.
Mm. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's what we talked about in the beginning here.
Yes.
We've
Yeah.
been so inundated with the culture and the church and the society and your family and your friends, and we can't blame anybody. We can only blame the shame guilt leech or
Yes.
parasite
Yeah.
that comes with the words,
Mm-hmm.
because love comes with the words. So
Mm-hmm.
shame guilt comes with the words too. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wow.
And
Fantastic.
I have another book on shame guilt, and it's more of a technical thing. It's Emotional Revolutions Equals Evolution.
Okay.
Um, so, but people like to hear things, and I have about 50 or 60 podcasts on my website. So just plug one in and listen. Some are 5 minutes, some are 10 minutes, some are an hour. I talked 2 hours once. Oh my goodness. But
Wow.
yeah, well, shame, guilt, we could keep talking, Andy.
Yeah, yeah. We could teach for
We
whole
could
year,
keep,
right?
we could talk, keep talking. So, but I mean, how much
Okay.
can your brain take? So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
have short podcasts for 3 minutes. So
Okay.
I offer this material because I am an educator. We need to be educated what shame guilt is
Mm-hmm.
so that we can avoid it.
Okay.
Also, my other film, Out of Discord into Harmony, teaches you how to make friends with your inner critic.
Mm.
Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Your inner critic
Powerful.
is
Yeah.
just living in your childhood, and we need to
Mm-hmm.
say, would you like to come to 2022 in 1950? So I teach people how to do that. We don't kill our inner critic. We don't
Yeah.
kick him out. We don't cut his head
Yeah.
off because
Yeah.
he's part of us. I can't cut my arm off
Yes.
or my nose.
Wow.
I got to
Wow.
make friends with my nose.
Because it represents part of you, right?
Right. So the inner critic is our best friend. And when we make friends with each other.
Okay.
Okay. But
Wonderful.
society tells us it's, no
Yeah.
good. And
Yeah. Wow.
so that's what you can do. I do individual sessions, I do groups, and whatever is necessary to help people kick shame, guilt out of their lives. Now, when
Right.
you feel the shame, guilt, you kick it out
Mm-hmm.
with that knowledge is a mindset. That's just a mindset. Then you go, what do I feel? Well, I
Mm-hmm.
feel not good enough. So you take your pencil and your paper, Andy, and
Mm-hmm.
you write, hi, I don't feel good. Thank you so much for coming to see me. What can you tell me? You're talking to yourself.
Okay. Okay.
Self help.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's self love when you can love a part of you. You can't
Yes.
get self love out of the sky.
Mhm. No, sir.
Part
No,
of
sir. It comes
you
from
that you
within. Yeah.
can love.
Yeah.
So I recommend people start writing to themselves.
Yes. Okay, great. I want to show you a short, very short video, and I want to get your comments on that, Luis. So I'm going to
Sure.
just put myself in the back.
But your process is different. It's actually, you've told me it's actually fun.
Yes. Most of my clients are happy and they're laughing because the emotions are really inner characters who just got the wrong message. And it's really a lot of fun. It's like a detective story. It's really a lot of fun to find out each part of your own character structure. And they're fun. They just got the wrong message. Like, you were told you couldn't have a lollipop when you were 4 years old, and that part of that emotion got injured. And you go in and say, it's okay. Daddy just didn't have the $5 to give you that lollipop. And so you make friends with that emotion rather than blaming, rather than shaming. I find that a lot of the traditional therapies are shame and guilt producing, and that's what causes the fright. The fright is caused because of the shame and the guilt. When you take away the shame and the guilt,
Oh,
uh,
wow.
that, that
Wow.
that was
Wow.
me in film school.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Wow, I found that so intriguing. I had to put it up there, Luis, because I needed to hear your comments on that. You talk about the fun part and the lollipop, that kind of analogy. That's very interesting.
Exactly. And that's all that it is. And we built it up to be a catastrophic illness
Uh huh.
because fear makes everything big. And then you
Yeah, yeah.
put the pin in the balloon, Andy,
Uh huh.
because it's only an energy and it
Mm-hmm.
goes.
Yeah. Yes, yes,
Did
yes,
you know that fear is shame guilt?
yes.
But fear is locked shame guilt inside of you, so it's
Mm-hmm.
very strong.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to say no a couple times.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Wonderful. So I'm gonna show you another one,
Wow,
and yeah,
this is fun.
and okay, let's have fun.
We all know that culture and therapists tell us that shame is feeling unworthy or not good enough, and guilt is I did something wrong, I should be punished. Now, that is okay. That's true. I agree. But it doesn't help you to heal. It doesn't take you anywhere. It says, my finger hurts because it's bleeding, because I cut it. That's it. And we don't go any further. So I'm like, well, they ain't going to help anybody. Okay. So shame, guilt, and I say shame, guilt because it's very important to put the two together because otherwise it splits you up and you're going, shame is bad, guilt is good. We need more guilt because we need to be more. I said, hello, can we just elevate our lives and say, I'm on this podcast because I really want to serve God. I really want to do a good thing. And if I don't,
That's oh,
Wow. I am so concerned about that healing part that you spoke about. Discovery is wonderful, but what's the healing process? How do we get out of the rut?
okay. I have had many testimonies through my years. One
Mm-hmm.
sticks out. One person came to me, we worked for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, every therapist, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
have
Yeah.
always told me to love myself.
Okay.
Lois is the only one that showed me how.
How? Yes.
I'm a
Exact.
how person. I know the
Exactly.
medical parts of the brain. I
Mm-hmm.
know the anatomy, but does that help you heal? No, it
No.
makes you
Yeah.
feel more stupid.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm the how person.
Wow. That is so powerful and so wonderful, Luis. And as we are coming to the end of the show, I just want to give Luis a minute to tell you about her work, her experience, how you can get in touch with her if you need her assistance to deal with the monsters of this life, particularly the shame guilt scenario, and how you can get her publications. And if you need for her to speak at any of your functions and so on, she's going to give you that information right now. So I'll be in the background, Luis. Go ahead and share your hand.
The main way to get in touch with me is, as you say, Lois Hollis, LoisHollis.com. That's my website, and it leads to all the other websites that I do have. On my website, I have many podcasts, as Andy was taking some parts of, and they're from 3 minutes to an hour and a half. And each episode of the podcast are a different tangent because shame guilt affects all of us in a different way. That's why it has been confusing to us. I'm on Facebook. I have the Shame Guilt Stoppers on Facebook. I have a YouTube channel, and my email is lois3hollis@gmail.com. Lois3hollis@gmail.com. Send me an email and we can talk.
Hey, great, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that information. And we have come to the end of our show with Lois Hollis, and she has been a masterclass in giving us pertinent information on how we can overcome the shame guilt
Shame guilt
syndrome.
leech,
Yes, the leech,
or
that
parasite.
monster, that parasite. Yes, I've got to use the right term.
Oh, one thing I want to add: never say my shame,
Mhm.
my guilt.
Yeah,
You
you don't
don't
own it. Don't
you
own it.
don't own the leech.
Don't own it.
Don't
That's
own the
right.
leech.
I love that. I love that, Luis. Thank you so much. That's powerful stuff. So this is Andy of Andy's Personal Development from the Love Bits A channel, saying thank you so much to our special guest Luis Hollis for sharing that wonderful time with us and giving us so much powerful information on how we can overcome and be successful with this monster that has been plaguing society and mankind for such a long, long, long time. In the meantime, remember, take care of yourselves and let love be the thing that you do the most in this life. Remember the three watchwords: health, happiness, and prosperity. Until next time, this is Andy saying, so long, Godspeed, Shalom, Namaste. Bye for now.